Good afternoon. This is a government that has used banned chemical weapons on its own people in the past. They've done so on Russian territory. They've done so on British soil. They have supported the brutal Assad regime, which itself has used banned chemical weapons on its people. So we know what this government will resort to, can resort to, has resorted to in the past. But the other element that gives us a good deal of concern is what we know about the Kremlin's tactics, especially its disinformation tactics.
Investigations into potential war crimes.
The fact is that we've seen very credible reports of deliberate attacks on civilians, which would, under the Geneva Conventions, constitute a war crime. In the elements at the top, I spoke to the strike at the maternity ward in Mariupol. We've seen strikes hitting schools, other hospitals, residential buildings, civilian buses, cars, ambulances have been shelled over the course of this brutal conflict. We've seen reports of civilian death toll in Ukraine numbering from the hundreds to the thousands. So we want to see evidence preserved. We are and will be in the process of marrying reports with evidence from the ground. And if we determine, if the international community determines that war crimes have been committed, that atrocities have been committed, that human rights abuses have been committed, we absolutely will hold the perpetrators accountable. The Kremlin continues to spread outright lies, such as the allegation that the United States and Ukraine are conducting chemical and biological weapons activities in Ukraine, and their baseless claim that bombing a maternity hospital is quote-unquote fake news. This is from a government that is now using many measures to hide the truth from its own people. The Kremlin viciously targets journalists and floods the internet and airwaves with disinformation, both around the world and at home in Russia. Many people in Russia have no idea what their government is doing right now in Ukraine. They may think they're liberating Ukraine, not destroying it. They don't know the extent to which their fellow countrymen, their husbands, their sons, their brothers are coming home in body bags, if the Russian government bothers to bring them home at all.